Hello, everyone! As you can see, I have a brand new streaming setup. I have music that is actually playing consistently, and it isn't too loud, at least I hope it isn't. My audio mixer is telling me that I'm significantly louder than the music, but I don't know. Uh, if you're watching the stream, then please tell me if it's too loud so that I can turn it down next stream. Or if you tell me while I'm still live today, then I could just turn it down in stream and we can get that all sorted out. And without further ado, let's get this started. Thank you everyone for getting me to 100 subscribers. This has always been a goal of mine, even if it's like a really small goal. It's just I didn't really expect that I'd ever reach it. Even if it's, again, such a minor goal. Now I'm just repeating myself. Without further ado, let's get this started. Alright, here we go. Here it is. As you can see, oh god, this is the lag. Okay, that is horrendous. That is horrendous. I will be right back. Hold on. Alright, everyone. I am back now. Hello there, Cheese. How are you doing? Realizing now that the chat is a bit, weird. Hold on. I'm gonna try to fix that. If it's gonna let me. Here we go. Hold on. There we go. Fix the chat. Fixed the chat. Perfect. So, alright. Welcome to the Q&A stream. This is my first time doing a stream that doesn't have something other than myself to entertain. Is the music too loud, by the way? I feel like the music might be too loud, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna take that as a good, then. Because I can't really tell what you mean by very Sigma. What does it mean for the music to be very Sigma? Anyways, are we going to make this a Q&A? volume's good. Alright, alright. But are we making this a Q&A? That is my question. Sure. Alright. Alright then. Questions? Is there? Then I'm gonna pull up the stream on my phone really quick. My favorite YouTuber. That is a good question. Sips Coffee, hello? Hello there, Cool Delta Plays. I'm judging by the asterisks that you used for that you are Luigi, correct? Are you Luigi? Also, to get back to you, Cheese, my favorite YouTuber, really can't decide that one. I watch a very wide variety, and it'd be probably a genre by genre basis. Though if I was forced to pick a favorite one in general, uh, yep. Alright, I'm assuming that was the answer to the Luigi question. Then, uh, favorite YouTuber for like music, I'd say is probably either Far or Poston Copia. They both make really good music, and they are pretty big inspirations for pretty much all of my pieces. Uh, the YouTubers that I watch very often, the YouTuber I watch most often. Hold on, I'm looking through my YouTube watch history to see, because I genuinely don't know off the top of my head. When was I watching that? I do not recall watching that. Yeah, I don't really think I have a favorite YouTuber, if I'm being honest. There's just too many YouTubers to pick from, in general. Alright, do we have any more questions? Seeing as this is meant to be a Q&A and not just, me rambling stream. Well, I guess that's kind of what a Q&A is in the first place. But I should probably be yapping about things you guys actually care about, rather than just random things to fill up the empty time. So, must be me then? I might not watch a lot of your content, however, your content is pretty good, I must say. Very good content. Thus why you are in mice. Anyways, more questions, anyone? By the way, how has your guys' day been so far? I know for some of you, yay? Yes, yay indeed. Yay indeed. My day's been pretty empty. I've just been like working on the game that I tried on developing while being on stream, but that causes way too much lag for you guys. What's your plans to grow as a YouTuber? I plan on doing more streams, more shorts content. Uh, good question, Cheese. I agree with Delta. That's great to hear, Delta. It's great to hear. Uh, back to the question, though. Uh, more streams, more shorts, uploading more gaming content, and at some point splitting my channel into 3 different things: game development, gaming, and music. This channel is probably going to be music since I've uploaded a majority of my music content here, and I'm gonna alert y'all when I have a gaming channel and a game development channel. So those of you interested in those things can go watch that and not have to be recommended things you don't care about, because that's actually really bad for the algorithm. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but you shouldn't have more than one thing on your channel that is really, really bad for the algorithm. I'm gonna get a pinned message in here so people know that they're meant to be asking questions, because we only have 2 questions so far, both from Cheese, our wonderful moderator. Alright, give me any questions and I will answer them. Perfect. Pin message. There we go. We now have a pinned message. Alright, do we have any more questions for this moment? I mean, there's only 2 people here, me and Cheese. Fair, but I mean, like, y'all have never really had an opportunity to just ask me questions. I mean, typically we're just playing games with each other. We're not... This isn't... It's not, like, a proper environment to ask me questions about myself, about my content, and stuff like that. Like, if you want to ask questions now, I mean, like, I don't really see why you'd be here if you weren't here to ask questions. I mean, I guess that I sent you the video, but I mean, like, yeah, either way, do any of you happen to have any questions thus far? And I'm probably gonna turn up the music a bit. Thoughts on your old Conquest SMP? Thank you. That is a really good question. I miss the days of Conquest SMP so much. Like, it is not even funny. I've tried several times to revive Conquest SMP purely because it was peak. I mean, I guess that, like, it was a bit cringe. I mean, there is a reason that I unlisted it from my YouTube channel. But, like, that age was perfect. Like, I am not joking when I say this. Like, I would pay any amount of money to get those days back. CSS3 lore? Yes! See, that was the golden era for me. That was perfect era because it was fun, it was engaging, so many people were interested in it. We had sessions very frequently, but not too frequently. It was overall really fun, and honestly, I keep thinking of reviving it. I mean, that's what I plan on doing for Conquest Redux. But, like, I've been caught up with so many other things that I haven't really had time to work on Conquest Redux. But when I have the opportunity, I will do it. Probably sometime this summer, though I'm not exactly sure. My favorite CSSMP was Season 3, but I was only in Season 3 and Season 4. So, what was your favorite season? Favorite season? Probably Season 3, since Season 3 had the most people and lasted the longest. Because, Season 1, that was like a 1-session thing. Season 2, I didn't record it. However, it's on Shadow's channel. If you guys, after the stream, click on my channel, you can see in Mice Members that Shadow Games is in there. You can go back there and watch some of his content. I really recommend it. While I'm at it, I also want to recommend y'all to check out Craftmaster. He makes similar content to me, though with a more chill vibe. So, if you like more chill content and you're more Minecraft focused, I definitely recommend watching Craftmaster. Of course, after the stream, because, like, you're here right now. You're doing this. You're engaging in this. Please do not leave at this moment. Anyways, do any of you guys happen to have any more questions for me? After all, it's only been like 16 minutes, and we have answered a few questions, but I mean, like, there are some more that we could have. There are some more. I just mostly, like, don't want this to be a very empty stream, because I feel like people aren't going to like it if it's an empty stream. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, why would you just want to watch minutes of silence? I don't exactly understand what the appeal of that would be. But, I guess that... Oh, that is... Here's a question that I have for you guys. What is your favorite dessert? For me, personally, I'd say that my favorite dessert is probably baklava. I've been craving it quite a lot recently. When do you think the next mice stream will happen? Or is it mice? It's mice. It's mice. And the next mice stream will probably... Do you prefer nighttime or daytime? Or golden hour time? I'll answer Cheese's first since he asked first, but I will answer your question afterwards. Chocolate cake easy. Chocolate cake is really good. I love brownies for that exact reason. I think the next mice stream is going to happen in about, I'd say... You know, wouldn't be a good time? I'd say in about like 2 weeks on that Friday. That would be a perfect time. I think we all could play. Hold on. Cake or ice cream, chocolate, cookies and cream, red velvet are all my favorites. I agree with those. I agree with those quite a lot. Red velvet and chocolate are pretty much the same. But, I agree with those very, very heavily. However, as I was saying about the whole when the next mice stream is happening, July 4th. Actually, no, that's a terrible time because like half of you guys are in America. How about June 27th? I think that's a good time. If only Roblox we're having a good egg hunt we could stream. Exactly, bro. Also, either way, like, the games that they're in are really, high. Hold on. Yeah, if only Roblox didn't go on a new low. Cheese. See, Roblox has been on a downhill. Like, why are they blue now? Why is Roblox blue? That is really... That hurts my eyes. Green is better for the eyes. I use blue to wake up in the morning because blue, although it's like my second favorite color, not my first, but like blue helps you wake up in the morning. And it's also why I have it as like my stream colors. It helps me stay alert while I'm on stream. They just had to ruin it with inviting one person they shouldn't have. Hold on, what person did they invite that they shouldn't have? 1,000 games, how will we do that in 10 days? Huh? Hold on, the game, the egg hunt has 10,000 games? Or not 10,000, 1,000, that's still insane. 1,000 games in 10 days, are you kidding? Hold on, I haven't researched the egg hunt. Let me hold on. I need to search that. That's insane. 1,000 games in 10 days. Are they just expecting us to do 100 games in one day? Half of the tasks take like multiple hours to get. Hold on. Let me search it up right now. Wait, so the Crescenta, weren't you aware of the egg hunt situation? No, I was not. I mean, I knew there was an egg hunt going on, and I thought, oh, that's cool. But like 1,000 games in 10 days. Hold on. How many? Apparently it isn't even a hunt, you just stand around the spawn area and wait for the egg to spawn. That's criminal! That is criminal. That is insane. Why? That is ridiculous. No, you just have to wait a couple minutes to wait around a couple of minutes to wait. You don't have to do anything, which sucks. That's ridiculous! What kind of egg hunt is that? That is just... why? Why would you do that? Exactly! Exactly! What is the point? Not almost every. Quite literally every egg hunt had a task to do. You had to do something to earn it. Wait, hold on. It says that... hold on, I'm looking at it right now. It says only 25 games. Hold on. I'm getting mixed sources. It ain't an egg hunt. It's waiting for eggs to bake. I swear, what is this? Hold on. The Hatch is the largest event Roblox has ever produced, featuring 1,000 experiences. Launch July 2nd. End July 12th. What? How do they expect people to play that? Yeah, you were right, Cheese. You were right. It was 1,000. I was looking at the wrong source. But this one's officially uploaded by Roblox. 1,000 games in 10 days. Huh? It's because of the egg hunt protest. Dog, what is this? This is absolutely insane. Okay, next thing. Let me answer Luigi's question from earlier. Hold on. Do you prefer nighttime or daytime? Or golden hour time? What's golden hour? I've never heard of golden hour, but between night and day, it's like when the summer people are more busy than ever. What do you mean, Cheese? Hold on. I do not understand what you mean there. Because the summer is, at least for me, the most free time of the year. Like, I am able to do pretty much anything during the summer at any time. What do you mean that it's like the busiest ever? What? Anyways, to answer Luigi's question, I would probably say night, mostly because I absolutely hate it when the sun is roasting my eyes. I'm not... golden hour is basically when the sun sets around the perfect time to the point where the sun's color turns gold. Isn't the sun always gold? Most people are on vacay and hanging out with family or friends. True, true. Actually, that is true. I guess it's mostly because I don't have any vacation to really go on this summer, since I went on vacation earlier this year. And there's no way that we're spending more money on a longer holiday, so... Between night and day. Sorry, I keep getting really off topic and trying to jump back. It's yellow. Gold is just yellow, but like tinted orange. That's what I say gold is. Gold is just yellow, but tinted orange. Is there like an official definition of the color gold that I just didn't know about? Also, I believe that golden hour would be like 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. on the equator, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, either golden hour or night, because like when the sun is like fully up in the sky is blue, like a very annoying blue. That I absolutely despise. It's just like really an eyesore in my opinion. That's why I prefer clouds. Clouds and rain, it makes me sound really emo or nihilistic, but like genuinely though, it feels so much more calming to have those more muted blues than the ones that are all up in your face. I don't know, maybe that's just my opinion. But like, I just don't really like the way that the sky typically looks. What's your favorite season? Favorite season? That's a really good question. I'd probably say all of them except for summer. Actually, wait, no. Summer has the holiday. Oh my god, what just happened to the chat? What just happened to the chat? Are y'all okay? You were just tossed into the air and then you were brought back down. Whatever. Back to the favorite season. I like summer because summer has the holiday. I like fall because fall has like I like winter the most. I'm gonna get to winter here in a second, but I think that's a really good pick. But back to fall. I have maple trees in my backyard, and like when they fall down and it starts to rain a lot, it smells like maple tea in my backyard because of how many leaves are just drowned in the water. It would probably not be too healthy to drink that, but it just smells really nice whenever you go out in the fall with maple trees in your backyard, and it's been raining recently. That's just peak setting. Finally winter. And don't worry, I'm getting to spring after winter. But winter is really nice because you finally get the month that is purely shades of blue, because the snow is like a really, really light blue. The sky is like a muted blue at sometimes, and like very, very white blue at other times. Like everything just has a really nice feeling to it, and it has an even more cozy vibe than when it rains. Although I really do find snow to be annoying to walk through, and when the roads are all frosted and you're trying to cross the street, but you just slip. That's annoying. And then spring. Spring is perfect because it's right when all the plants start to grow. That's when you get the most rain. Yeah, I agree. Autumn, peak. Absolute peak. But, back to spring for a moment. Spring, it's when you get the rain, the clouds, you get the plants. It's like the perfect entrance to a very mid-month, very mid-season. It's just, who wouldn't like spring? That's my question. Who here does not like spring? Because I don't think I've ever really met a person who has despised spring. It just feels like the month that you can't really hate. That it just seems impossible to me to hate spring. Do any of you happen to hate it? I think spring is okay, says Cheese. And see, you get me. You get me, Cheese. Spring is the best. I'd say. I don't, because I have a pollen allergy. But besides that, I think spring is kind of alright. I mean, I have a pollen allergy too. And it's also like, when pets start shedding their fur, and I'm allergic to dogs and cats, despite having a dog. But, no. And of course he barks right when I mention him. Typical. Typical. Even though I have allergies, and, like, I can't really get too much, like, fresh air, and it feels nice to breathe, I feel like the rain and, like, the general vibe of spring pretty generally overrides that. At least in my opinion. It just feels like, to me, that spring has way too many benefits for the downsides to even matter. It's the perfect season, you know? You get all sorts of color from the flowers. You get to see so many shades of green. What keeps happening with the chat? I keep seeing the chat, like, it moves sideways, it moves up, it moves down. It's just all over the place. Oh wait, that's because Cheese sent a message. I have a pollen allergy and I live in the south of the US, and I always have some sort of allergen. I do too. That is not just a you problem right there. I have that exact same problem. In fact, like, sometimes if someone meets me during the spring, or the summer for that matter, online, they're gonna say that I have a nerd emoji voice. Because, like, I can't ever have a clear nose. It's just ridiculous. Because that's not how I typically sound. It just so happens that in, like, these months, I can't really breathe through my nose. It's, like, just a whole thing. It's annoying. Although, again, spring is still a goated season. There's nothing that can change my mind on that. It's just like, why wouldn't you... I mean, like, aside from allergies, because I know you guys have brought up the fact that you have allergies, and that spring is a bit annoying. But, like, aside from allergies, why would you not like spring? I mean, it looks beautiful, there's so much color, the weather, it has both sun and rain, so you get the best of both worlds. Overall, I'd say, like, there's not really much wrong with spring. It just feels like the perfect season in general. Hands down. There's, like, nothing that beats spring. I know I said I didn't have a favorite season earlier, but I think I've decided in the middle of me talking about spring that spring is definitively my favorite. It's too hot. Maybe in the south, because, like, I know it gets really, really hot in the south of the U.S. But, like, where I am, spring isn't really that hot. It's the summer that's horrible. At least the summer has rain, it cools everything down. What? Hold on. In my area, it's like the reverse. Summer is what's hot, and in the spring is where the rain is. Like, the summer doesn't really get any rain. I mean, you'll get, like, the occasional sandstorm, but that's not really rain. That's just, like, sand. But I'm still going to stand my ground here. Spring is definitively the best of the seasons. There's no better season than spring. Alright? There's just none. Why does a chat do that? Did you all see that? It just like it went up and then it went down. Is the chat trying to tell me something that like none of y'all are saying, or they what is happening with the chat? Because none of you sent a message at that moment, so there shouldn't have been sound there. Oh? What do you mean, oh? I know the answer, I think. Please do tell. Please do tell me the answer. It could be a chat refresh. The chat is having a seizure. Real! Real, the chat is having a seizure every single moment. It's I just can't catch a break with the chat. It's constantly going up, it's going down, it's going left, it's going right. Where maybe after some time the chat refreshed, reloading all the messages. That is actually really realistic. And that does make some semblance of sense, I guess. But I'm still gonna get mad every time that it refreshes, and I'm gonna act like the chat is having a seizure. Because it is. That's what's happening. The chat is having a seizure every single moment I try to talk during. For some reason. Another question for y'all, because y'all haven't asked me a question in a while. What is your opinion on, like, what is your opinion on classical music? A lot of people, like, you either hate it or you love it. I have not met a single person who is indifferent to it. They either make it their whole personality that they love it, or they make it their whole personality that they hate it. Wait, no, that would mean that everyone, like, makes that their personality, and that's, like, not true. Whatever, do you hate it or do you love it? That is the question that I am asking you. Because y'all aren't giving me questions. This isn't a Q&A, it's an A&Q. It's alright? You are the first person I've met who is indifferent to classical music. That is really interesting. Typically, the people that I talk... Why is the chat having a seizure? Every single moment. It does not need to do this. The chat is harassing my eyes by constantly throwing itself in different directions. It is not what's meant to be happening. I think it's okay. Another person who's indifferent to it. I didn't know that there are so many people who are indifferent to classical music. In my personal opinion, I'd say that, like, classical music, some of it, like, La Campanella and, what's it called? Clair de Lune. Those are really good. However, ones like, Turkish March and, like, all the Beethoven pieces in general, and Mozart, I don't really like either of them. I mean, like, I feel like for their time, it was probably really, it was like peak music. But just in my opinion, it doesn't really seem all that nice. Maybe it's just my taste in music. Maybe it's just my taste. But like, I personally don't really like it at all. Uh, it's just like, it's like how you would expect, like, no, I just don't like it. That's just the simplest way to put it. There's no real appeal to it, in my eyes at least. I feel like it's just very boring. It doesn't even remind me of the time period it was made in. Like, when I hear it, I do not think 1700s. That is not what I hear. When I hear it, I just think of, oh, copyright-free music. That's just it. That's all. That's all I think of. Also, what are your opinions on the new stream layout? Because I made it at like a very late hour. Uh, so it to me it looks nice, but I'm not sure if that's just because of like me making it and thinking the new is better than the old. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, who knows. Uh, uh, I think it looks pretty good, says Cheese. Thank you. I actually made the background all by myself. That is not an image taken off of Google like the last one. I actually own the rights to the background of my streams. I feel like now that I'm getting 100 subscribers, I shouldn't be using Google Images for my branding. That feels really scummy. And I also don't want people just, like, getting mad at me over that, because, like, I'd probably get mad at someone else for doing that. So I felt like, let's not be a hypocrite. So I made this very beautiful background that I am quite a big fan of. Ooh yeah, I like the background. I know, right? Like, I made the perfect combination of, like, blues and science. Oh, hold on. That was loud. Uh, just, just ignore that. Uh, like, it has the right blues, it has the right whites, it has the right teals, the cyans. I know you love teal, Cheese. You've made that abundantly clear to me in the past few days. Uh, Overall, I really think I did a good job on it. Hold on, let me show you the full thing. So of course we have this. We also have the beginning. And I am actually on the waiting and the on the starting thing. It is no longer just space. Who dares open the bag of chips? That was not a bag of chips. Okay. That was not chips. That was my dog. He was being incredibly loud for some reason. Unnecessarily. Let me go back to showing my stream layout. I have this. This is my background. This is what the background to my computer looks like. I think it's pretty nice. At least in my opinion. It's a build that I made. Oh? Yes, apologies. That was not a bag of crisps. It was merely a dog. Hold on. Alright, I am back. I think it's a pretty nice background. Also, I found a way to, crop this so it doesn't look like... You see the edge of... No, you don't. That is not how that's meant to be. Hold on. I didn't think I'd have to be editing my layout in the middle of a stream. That doesn't look stretched, does it? Oh. And it did the thing. It did the thing. Why? Okay, I don't think that looks too stretched. Yeah, that doesn't look too stretched at all. It's just one of those normal days. I do have my screen cropped a tiny bit, so like you can't see, like down here, there's like my time. Don't want you guys seeing my time. I don't want you seeing what tabs I have open down here. And I don't want you seeing what temperatures it is over here. But either way, I think it works really well. Hold on. Oh, that's not how I'm meant to do the transitions. Hold on. That was the be right back. Anyways, this is just the same exact thing, but like cropped again. This time it isn't as squashed. That's nice. Like, the other one, I'm sure you can kind of tell that it's squashed. Like, hold on. Like this, you can kind of tell this is squashed. But the other one, yeah, this looks pretty normal to me. To me, at least. uh, and then, of course, we had the Be Right Back, we had that. We also have the ending stream. So, either way, I think that's a really good stream layout. What do you guys think? Go back to being at the front of everything. Why do you keep changing colors? That's weird. Why are you purple and green now? Or that's not really green, that's chartreuse. Womp womp. Same difference. What are you guys having to think of the stream layout? E? That's what your opinions are? Just E? Yeah, it's pretty good, says Cheese. Thank you. I had to do some last minute preparations. Ooh, my chat color is lime now. I wouldn't really call that lime. I don't really... I've seen limes, and I don't really think any of them look like that. I think lime is more of like a... I feel like the way that most people define lime is just like the greenest green that your computer is capable of displaying. I'd say your color is more chartreuse. I think that the stream layout is pretty nice. You could also see the thumbnail was pretty cool. Even if it like, looked very atrocious. Or, looked very atrocious. Like, the fact that the actual recording of what's on the thumbnail was very atrocious. But we're not doing that anymore, because that didn't work. And, I apologize to anyone I misadvertised to. I was hoping to work on that. But, for some reason, OBS doesn't like me. That's just reality, I guess. do any of you have any more questions for me? Because stream's only been going on for about like an hour now, and my streams are typically about like 3 hours. I don't expect this one to be like 3 hours. I know y'all have things to do, and I have things to do. Uh, like, it's still like only an hour in. In fact, not even an hour in. It's like 51 minutes as the time I'm saying this. So do any of you happen to have any questions for me at the moment, or shall I ask you another question? Because I feel like I'm having to ask a lot of these questions. Says Luigi. Okay, but what is mean? Care to enlighten us, Luigi? Not that I can think of. Really, you don't have any questions? Like, at all? I mean, surely you have some. I mean, like, there's always just random questions you could ask. Like, throw me random scenarios. Those are fun. Random scenarios. That reminds me, why on earth is the whole who would win, one gorilla or 100 men thing? Not really, says Luigi. Surely you can think of one. Surely. As I was saying with the gorilla versus 100 men thing. I'm not really the type of guy to ask that many questions. Well, now's your opportunity to ask questions. Learn more about me, because we haven't really talked too much. I mean, there's been quite a few moments, but not really a lot. The whole one gorilla versus 100 men thing. I don't really understand it. Like, I feel like it's a weird trend people make. Yeah, it makes no sense. I first heard it through a friend at school. And then I went home that day, and randomly it was all over my YouTube feed. Like, just question after question of just people asking the same thing and making jokes about it. It was very surreal to be asked that question at school and come home to find things that are just all talking about it. Nothing else. Just, who would win? One man, or 100 men, or one gorilla? Like, what? I mean, I feel like it'd be, like, pretty obvious. Either way, it's just a really stupid question. At least from my perspective. Also, I'm gonna check if the music is too loud now. So I will be right back. Alright, I think the music is pretty nice. I'm not sure what's happening with the audio though, because you can hear a lot of background noises that you shouldn't be able to. Hold on, there we go, noise suppression. Alright, I'm gonna be right back really quick. Alright then. And it seems like Cheese has disappeared. Cheese, if you are here, please speak. Allow us to be enlightened by your questions. because I feel like that, although you've asked quite a few, you haven't really, actually, no! Sorry, my dog. Actually, no, you've answered a good amount, asked a good amount of questions. Either way, though, more questions would definitely be appreciated, seeing as this is meant to be a whole Q&A stream, not just like a random thing. I'm also gonna compile this into a video, of me just answering these live. Actually, no, it'd be a pretty boring video, actually, that I think about it. I mean, like, for a stream, like, seeing people ask questions live, that seems pretty nice in my opinion. Like, oh wait, I just realized that I forgot to ping the Discord. That's probably why there's not many people here. Here, let's get some people in here. Shoot, I didn't mean to ping them so late. I should have pinged them much earlier, because I mean, like, we're already an hour into the stream, and somehow I forgot to ping them? That makes no sense. Also, I'm not sure if you guys happen to notice, but, you can see that I have an eye now. Look, I have an eye right on my chest. And it blinks occasionally. You'll see. Yep, right there, it just blinked. Thought that was pretty cool, because I felt like not enough emotion. You can't really see it too much, like, right here, but, if I do this, or this, you can see the eye much better. And the eye is actually looking at the gameplay, which is perfect, in my opinion. I feel like it adds character, you know? Also, I want you guys to answer my question here. Which should I do more? Should I have it be like this? Or this? Which is better? Alright, I see that chat has died quite a bit, so, I'm gonna just ramble about the story of me making this while I, am here. Back? Perfect! Hello! Welcome back. Do you happen to have any questions now? Seeing as questions is the whole point of the stream. Or are you still questionless? For if you are still questionless, then I would be more than happy to explain the story of me making this background. As I feel like it's a pretty nice background, in my opinion. And also, the story behind it is pretty funny. Nope, no questions. Alright then. Let me explain. So it all started, like, when, like, a couple of years ago, I came across a server on YouTube, a Minecraft server, where people had their own countries and cities, and I was really interested by it. And at the time, I didn't have Discord or Java Edition Minecraft, so I wasn't able to, hold on, let me move so y'all can see me a bit better. Here we go. So I was put into this situation where I could only watch content on the game. So I did. I watched a lot of content on the game. Or not game, I meant server. Until I stopped being able to find content on it. Then I forgot about it for a couple years. But then I got Discord and Java Edition. Like a year ago or so. Uh, no. Sorry, my dog. And when I was first able to get Java Edition, I think one of the first things I did was open up the server in Java Minecraft. And I joined. I was immediately invited to this country called Arkael. I'll talk about them more in future streams, I guess, if you guys actually care about it. But they recruited me into their country, and I pretty much did nothing but like farm cacti for them, so that they could sell experience. And then one day, because the Emperor just kind of knew everybody, I asked the Emperor at the time, "Hey, can I build a city?" And he said yes. And I spent forever trying to come up with build designs for the city. And in a test world, I made structures similar to this, and I showed him them. He loved their design, so he asked me, he didn't ask me to. I asked to start building the city, and he said yes, though he recommended that I import a chunk of the world into a server that I was, into a creative world, so that I could build out the city, then use Lightmatica to build the city in the actual server, and I could actually send the schematic to other people so that other people knew the exact structure, kind of like a blueprint for a city. And so I started to do that, and then all of a sudden I was told, nope, you can't start building, and you won't be able to start building because the plot is too close to another city. And I'd have to get perms from the other city to build close to it. But the owner of the other city was AFK, or not just AFK, they were just flat out on hiatus. And they were on hiatus for so long that the previous emperor stepped down as emperor and another emperor was elected. And then that emperor told me that I couldn't have my city and that I'd have to get it reapproved. And then there was a controversy that happened in the city that made it so that, like, I've quit that server now. Just to, like, get away from the controversy. And, now I just have all of these, pictures of this build. I'll actually show y'all, because, like, it's pretty interesting, in my opinion. Some of the... Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I almost... showed my name on stream. Really glad it took that, like, multiple seconds to load, and I caught that. that was scary. I'm gonna look back into my screenshots so that I can show y'all. Oh, and Luigi just sends A. Pretty cool. Hold on. So I have this one. Is this the screenshot? Wait, no, that's the screenshot. Here, hold on. hold on. Here is a screenshot. I'm gonna move back out of the way. Alright, here we go. Like... Y'all see this, right? Look at this. This is peak. The build is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Phenomenal? Phenomenal. Yes, phenomenal. Like, I built this all for the server. I have another screenshot, too. Yes, phenomenal. Here, we have this one. You even have right there. Welcome to Carmedrion. Carmedrion. Above is the observatory. And look at this. Look at how much effort I put into this city that I was just denied. Because of a series of unfortunate events. Unfair. That's the best way to describe it. Unfair. Look, I even built the interiors. Hold on. Look. There was nothing really in it, but that was for, like, that war sounds like a war name. I don't know why. I guess it kind of makes sense to think that. Besides that, it's a good build. Yeah, and it was an entire city. This was taken during, building phases. You can see up here. During February. Like, this was taken just the day after Valentine's Day. But, look at this. I built all this. Every single block placed by my hand. Because I wasn't using World Edit for some reason. It was glory. Glory. And I was denied it. I was denied my glory. Purely because one of the emperors just decided, nah, let's not give this guy his build that he deserves. However, either way, it did teach me a good lesson, because now I want to show you a build that I built recently that I was also considering having be my background. Let me show y'all this. Dang indeed, brother. I mean, look at this. I built this for a build competition. I don't think you understand. A build competition. That's why you're a villain in Conquest SMP? Nah, because Conquest SMP happened way before I started building this, because this happened this year. What? I know, right? Like, this happened because I was so petty about being rejected. That's a whole throne room? Nah, really? Look at this, hold on. Do you see this? Chandler. Hello, Chandler. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about builds in Minecraft as of the moment, but if you have any Q&A questions, I'd love to hear them, as that's the whole point of this stream. And for some reason, people aren't asking as many questions as I thought they would. I mean, why would you vote for a Q&A if you don't have any questions? Nobody is joining this stream, I swear. Also, I have more images of this build. Let me show y'all. Like, this is peak. Here is the outside. Not as good, but that's because I wasn't finished. Because the timer ran out. You can see the wall. I made the wall. Handmade. And also this gate, it could have opened up. Like, it was flat out able to open up and down. Not even joking there. And, another angle, a better angle, I'd say. This. Look at this. Look at this tower. This is what I could have given to the nation. But they wanted to, remove my city from existence. Also, this was the bedrock wall. Over here. Look at this. I even use hay bales. Hay bales for a straw roof. It was peak. They took it all away from me. They took everything from me. What are some more images I can show y'all? I don't have any. That's all for the images for now. But here we go. We are back here. Back in this room. We are so back. Exactly. Alright, do you have any questions for me? As I feel like, you guys don't really have too many options to ask me questions. Oh, hold on. Yeah, you guys don't really have any opportunities to ask me any questions about myself in stream right now. Alright. Should ask questions. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna see if my my audio sounds alright. Really quick. Don't really have any opportunities to ask me questions. Yep, it sounds alright. Aside from my dog being incredibly loud for no reason. But if you have any questions, that's exactly what this stream is meant to be. How did you come up with the VTuber character thingamajig? Alright, so it was like 2 a.m. a random night, like 2 days before I started streaming for the first time, like the first stream I ever did. I don't remember when the first stream I ever did was. No! Lay down! Lay down! Sorry, my dog. So, it was 2 nights before I did my first ever stream, and I knew that I needed a VTuber model. And, I couldn't just, my channel branding has always been a crescent and stars, at least since the rebrand. So I decided that my character should probably include that. So I had 2 designs initially. And one of the designs was more humanoid. They had like expressions. They would blink. they were pretty alright. However, they weren't what I was looking for in a VTuber. Mostly because, like, I felt like people wouldn't like the character. Otherwise, it was a pretty nice character, but it didn't fit the channel branding too much. However, the second design I came up with was a blue jacket, Star of David drawn onto it, and crescent head with 3 stars next to it, because that's quite literally what my profile picture is. It is a black background with a white crescent and 3 stars. La crescenta sus lucel. Not necessarily lucel blau marine. However, it's still in a sky of sorts. I mean, it was made of real photos that I took, although edited quite a bit to look like a profile picture. I'm getting off topic. And I felt like that design felt really nice, but I couldn't think of a way to make it apparent that I was speaking. And since I wasn't blinking either, it wouldn't really look like anything was happening with my character. And that doesn't seem too visually interesting in my opinion. So, I came up with the idea of having the stars and the moon glow like a light bulb. And, I actually drew it out, and it looked pretty nice in my opinion. So I took that and I turned that into my VTuber character. And I initially had a much more poorly drawn version of them. If you look back at any stream before this one, you'll see it. Like, it has black outlines. The bottom of it is like just solid. The light is very weirdly drawn. It doesn't really have any shading, which isn't too nice. Like, you can see when I stop talking that the moon has shading. It didn't previously. It was always just kind of like, without shadows. But now it does. And I think canonically, the light bulb, the crescent and the 3 stars are all light bulbs that are wireless, and they are connected to some sort of microphone. I don't know. I never really thought of the lore of my character. But, yeah, that is my VTuber character. Do you happen to have any more questions? I feel like we have answered quite a few in this stream, although, we could definitely use some more, in my opinion, at least. Feels like a pretty empty stream. Yeah. Do you have... Oh my, why is this guy always asking questions? Hold on. Wait, this is perfect. Oh, you have a new question. Perfect. What is your question? Random or not, I shall answer. What is the best type of potato? Oh, do you mean like preparation, or do you mean like the different breeds of potato? I'd be willing to answer both, but like if you had a specific one in mind, I'd be willing to answer that, one exclusively. But, which one did you happen to mean when you asked, what is the best type of potato? Because I have quite a lot to say on both of those. So indeed, which one are you talking about? Like, different ways to prepare it, or the different, breeds of potato? I don't know, the different varieties, I should say? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know, like, the terms you're meant to use for, like preparation, I guess? That is a really, really difficult question. Like baked potatoes and mashed potatoes. Uh, Stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. I would probably say either baked potatoes or, like, French fries. Both of those, perfect. Although I guess I'd say baked potatoes. Listen, hear me out. Here is the best baked potato that exists. Alright, I will see you in a bit then, Luigi. Hands down, get your potatoes, like, lather them in oil, really any oil, then absolutely just cake them in salt, put them in the oven, cook them, take them out, cut it down to half, put like an unnecessary amount of butter in there. W pick, I agree with you. See, hold on. I baked potatoes. Baked potatoes. Perfect. Perfect. 10 out of 10. You put like a good generous amount of butter in there. You put the put sour cream. You put shredded cheese, specifically Colby Jack, because Colby Jack is the best cheese, unless you're talking fresh mozzarella, but that wouldn't be good in a baked potato, in my opinion, at least. You put chives in there. You put bacon bits. And it's just the most heavenly baked potato you've ever had. And make... oh, yeah. And add green chili. Like, I know that stuff only grows in, New Mexico and, like, Colorado. But, like, flying over there is worth it. Like, my family, like, they go down there every year specifically to get that stuff. Because, like, once you've had it once, you can't have another meal again without having it. Because it goes well with everything. You're having potatoes, mix it in with the potatoes. You're having pasta, mix it in with the pasta. Just like everything. Everything goes well with green chili if it's meant to be salty and savory. That sounds really good, just can't eat pork, so... I mean, like, what do you mean green? Oh, wait, right, the bacon. You could substitute the bacon for, what's it called? Did I seriously just forget what vegan bacon is called? Vegan bacon. Just get vegan bacon. Zero amount of pork in there. Because, like, they can't have pork in there. The vegans can't eat any meat. So, of course, they're going to avoid pork, too. So get vegan bacon. Not sure if it's as good as the real stuff, but I mean, like, even then, it sounds pretty fire. Mix it all in, like, just mash up the insides of the potato. So it's, like, equally distributed. Every bite is gonna send you to heaven and then send you back to earth. That peak. Baked potatoes are peak. Beef bacon, maybe? Yeah, beef bacon could also work, although I'm not sure if that really exists. If you could find a way to make beef bacon, then yeah, that'd work too. I mean, like, I personally... I get that I'm Jewish, but I mean, like, I'm a branch that's okay with eating pork and stuff. But, like, eating... I still prefer beef over bacon, over, most pork. But even then... Like, I'm sure beef bacon would be amazing. Even if I do quite like the original. Beef bacon, though. Never tried it, but it sounds pretty good. If you ask me. Very, very good. It does? Well, I don't see why it wouldn't. Not. Same with turkey bacon. Turkey bacon? Is there like a whole Avengers of the bacon? Is that just... What do you mean turkey bacon, beef bacon? I only knew that pork bacon and vegan bacon existed, but we have vegan bacon, pork bacon, beef bacon, turkey bacon. What's next? Chicken bacon? Is there like a whole Avengers assembly of bacon? Is that just how things work? I don't know, I've never really had bacon substitutes in my household before, because, like, probably. Just imagine. I'm just imagining right now, somewhere in the world, there's just randomly, like, duck bacon, lamb bacon. Lamb bacon might exist in, like, the Middle East and, like, yeah, just the Middle East in general. I was about to say specifically Israel, but, like, lamb is eaten all over the Middle East. Not just Israel. But, like, lamb bacon, probably plausible, but I think duck bacon is the least plausible, since I don't think Asia really avoids pig. Although, I don't know. I mean, like, some of Asia I know is Muslim, but not, like, the parts of Asia that eat ducks. From, my experience. I don't really know. All my knowledge mostly is in, Europe and, some parts of Asia. Some parts more than others. Overall, though, bacon is bacon, and bacon is good. So all bacon is good bacon. Because there is no bad bacon. That is the moral of today's stream. Bacon is good. All bacon is bacon, and bacon is good. That means all bacon is good bacon. Cake. Yeah? Alright, do you happen to have any more questions for me? The stream has been going on for about an hour and 30 minutes. Oh, I wonder if deer bacon exists. Isn't that just jerky, though? Wouldn't deer bacon just be jerky? I mean, like... No, because you don't really cook jerky, though. You just dry it out, and then eat it. And the drying out process typically cures it, too. Whatever, either way. Sounds pretty cool, in my opinion. Well, I'm not sure. Anyways, do you happen to have any more questions for me? True? Yeah. I would love some more questions. There's also beef jerky. Beef jerky would be good. I could definitely go for some jerky right now. Of any kind. I'm just hungry. But yes, do you happen to have any more questions? As again, I would be very open to it. Right. Stream going on for about an hour and 8 minutes. Okay, new question. What is the best type of apple? I have been waiting for the day I would be asked this question. Best kind of apple. Definitively, for cooking. Sit. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Down. Sorry, my dog. Best apple for cooking, Honeycrisp. It's sweet, and its sweetness is only amplified by the cooking process. So hands down, it'll be like candy by the time that you are done baking with it. So, Honeycrisp, best in that regard. But if you're just eating apples by themselves, Granny Smith apples. Peak! Because they're sour. Really, really sour. But they also have a sweetness to them. And it's like an amazing, immaculate flavor profile that like wouldn't be too good in cooking. Because like sometimes you don't want like the sourness of a green apple. Agreed? See, you and I are not so different. That means that you have the correct opinion. Granny Smiths are the apple for eating by themselves. W pick? Exactly. Granny Smith. Honeycrisp. The two best picks to ever, and I mean ever, exist. Honeycrisp for cooking, Granny Smith for eating. They go hand in hand. Everyone has to pick one of those two. Either Honeycrisp or Granny Smith. If those aren't in your top 5, at least one of them, then you and I cannot be friends. Also, I have a question for you now. Do you prefer your brownies to be... No! Sit! Lay down! Lay down! Sorry. Do you prefer your brownies to be chewy or cakey? Because I keep seeing this debate appear in my YouTube Shorts feed. And I want to know what my audience thinks. I personally, in my own personal opinion, would have to say, without a doubt, that can you stop? Sorry, my dog. Without a doubt, the best would have to be cakey brownies. Just like, the near cake-like consistency is immaculate. It is gorgeous. It is to die for. It is perfect. C'est parfait. If you do not like cakey brownies, you are not a very cool person. At least in my opinion. Just like, I need a good, like, especially like the edges of the pan. Those have the best slices. Cause you get the slice, you take a bite, and the crunch. A perfect balance? Huh. Please do explain yourself. I do not understand. Chewy things. You like chewy things. Huh. I mean, like, Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Also, uh, how is the latency on this stream? I really want to know what you are experiencing as you're typing. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone really quickly. Uh, um, test. 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 The cakey feeling is also good. I agree, the cakey feeling is really good. Also, I'm just realizing how bad the latency on the stream is. Yeah, the cakey feeling is immaculate. I agree with that. I don't necessarily agree. Yeah, it is. It is really, really delayed. I pulled the stream up on my phone. I can still voice myself, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix the latency on the stream. Because I feel like this is pretty ridiculous. There's no reason that it should be this behind. But, cakey feeling is definitely really, really nice. In my opinion, at least. Now, do you happen to have any more questions? Seeing as this is a Q&A. And I have been doing a lot of A and Q here. Giving you a lot of questions to answer. But you yourself have not been giving me any questions. Epic? What was that sound? Hold on, I'll be right back. Don't know what that was. That was, a bit weird. Don't have any more, really. Alright, then. In that case, it seems like the stream has finally seemed to have died down. So I believe that we'll be putting an end to the stream for today. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. And if you're watching this afterwards, ask me questions in the comments, because, like, while I did get a lot of questions today, I'd still like more questions. So let's have this be a perpetual Q&A. Any question in the comments, I will answer until I reach my next sub goal, 200 subscribers. That's all for today's stream, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.